is Soni Aralynn, and you are now listening to the Anime Assemble podcast, part of the Syfytology podcast network, with your host, Indy Uchiha and John Forsaken Powers.
Yo, what's up, Sci-Fighters, A-pluses, NerdMixers, anime fans everywhere. We are officially back from hiatus. Mr. NerdMix, Indy Uchiha is in the building. I got my co-host, Forsaken Powers. Tell the people
what's good? What's cracking, everybody? What's good?
And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Go ask your mom, because she know. This is episode 3, officially episode 3 of Anime Assemble. Not anime, but Anime Assemble. And for this episode, there's a wave coming through. A wave. A new Naruto, they say. A new Dragon Ball, they say. Better than Bleach, they say. We have an anime that's taking America by storm, and it seems like it's going to be the next big thing. From anime to manga to movies to video games, it seems to be taking the world by storm. And I don't know how to say the Japanese name, so I'm just going to say My Hero Academia.
Boku no Hero Academia.
Thank
you. For the Japanese one. Throwing that out there.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, because we all know we like subbed over dubbed.
Oh, for sure.
Over here, I don't know what y'all do, but I ain't got time to listen to Lady Goku scream. But but yo, this is a series that we have talked about before lightly, but it's something that is basically near and dear to my heart. It's one of the animes along with Boruto that I'm looking forward to coming out every week. And season 3 has been pretty good. But I want to start with this Two Heroes movie and what's it about, the plot, which I know you know, and where does it fit in the timeline of what's going on with the first 3 seasons of My Hero?
So at least currently, what we do know about it, that this movie that's going to be taking place, if I remember correctly, is coming out very end of September, early October for the movie. Whatchamacallit? It's going to set place right before season 3 of the actual series starts, right before the summer training camp. For those who aren't current, that's basically just where season 3 is at currently. So it's basically in between season 2 and season 3. In terms of like the story, I mean, the video is going to speak for itself, but whole aspect is they go to this technological island. It's kind of like a crazy resort island. It's like high tech, everything. Some villains take over the place, and basically Deku's got to save the day like always. A little interesting twist about it. We all know from the previous video that we did about My Hero that Deku is kind of like a rare, best way to put it, species inside of the My Hero universe. He initially was a quirkless person. It is extremely rare for people to be quirkless. Nowadays, usually everybody has some shape or form of a quirk or a superpower, so to speak. During the movie, Deku actually befriends a quirkless girl, and it seems like she plays a very major role because not only is she on the cover, like the cover photo for the movie, she's in the trailers. At least in the trailer that I saw, she has a heavy influence on how Deku acts within the movie. So it seems, it's playing on his prior self when he was quirkless to his current self, where now that he has the quirk, how that's going to factor into the actual saving the day. So,
okay. With that, why not? Let's take a quick look at the trailer and see what's going on with that, because you definitely got me interested. You know what I'm saying? About what's going on. Is there anything else highlighted that we need to make sure that we check out that's going on in this trailer? You want anybody to pay specific attention to?
Like in terms of just like the anime, like series in general, or are we talk about just like in My Hero and
just like in My Hero?
My Hero. Right now, currently, I would definitely be looking into, because right now this is the first time we really get to see other like superhero schools. For the most part, for the first 2 seasons, we really haven't had any dealings with any other schools of My Hero. So it's a really what I say you should really pay attention to once you get, if you're not started on My Hero, when you get to season 3, I highly recommend checking out how the other schools go about the actual events of season 3. How do they correspond to the UA students and everything like that? Just because it is definitely interesting, because we've only really had the perspective of the UA students. We never really had the perspective from any other schools until, honestly, just a couple episodes, to be honest. So it's going to be interesting how the rest of season 3 is going to play out, now that we're going to have more interactions with other schools, more interactions with more aspiring heroes that are to be or possibly not to be, give or take, depending on how the events of season 3 goes. Other than that, another thing that I really say, it's not out yet, but when the movie does come out, we do get a glimpse of All Might, the number 1 hero, the guy who's literally going to be able to save the day no matter what. He is actually in kind of like what is it, so to speak? He's been captured. So he can't, and for some reason, he's not able to get out of whatever binding that these villains put in, or there are certain restrictions preventing him from just busting out of it with his superhuman strength. So that's another thing to watch out for, because not only is it kind of like, once you get caught up, it kind of shows the transition of All Might's character, not only in the movie, but in the series of My Hero in general, just from his interactions, from that little like snippet from the trailer you'll see.
Okay, good stuff. I got this queued up, so let's go. If you don't mind talking about a little bit what you're seeing right now.
Okay, so this is basically it just shows off the start of the first season of My Hero, the start of the show. It shows the interactions between All Might, the number 1 hero, as well as Deku. He brings about Deku as his, basically kind of like his student to take on, so he can pass the torch on of his special quirk over onto Deku. Even though Deku is quirkless, that does not All Might's quirk is actually able to be transferred to another person. And this is what happens. This is how Deku actually gains a quirk. And this is what happens, so to speak, 2 seasons later. Now he has somewhat of a grasp over this quirk that he just somehow Mosh Paj grabbed out of nowhere, thanks to All Might. It's showing the past of All Might himself when he was initially just starting off to be a hero. It shows his fights from what we've seen of the other quirk. I'm not going to point out the other quirk, but there is a hand-in-hand quirk with All Might's quirk, One for All. For those of you who are current on the season, on the series, they do know what quirk that is. Highly recommend checking out the show. And we saw All Might in little in like bandage, like bindings or whatever, and he's kind of just stuck there. And it looks like All Might's really kind of taking a step out of the actual save the day role. He's kind of just, he's doing his thing of just kind of being the captee. And Deku's the one actually doing all the work. He's the one actually saving the day. So this is a perfect example of how All Might is supposed to step down from the mantle of responsibility, and Deku is supposed to rise to the mantle.
Okay. That's dope. That's real dope. So as far as the season 3 goes right now, I'm really, really digging what's going on. I had a few issues with everything that was happening in it.
Oh, for sure.
The best thing I see is that watching the other characters evolve. Todoroki, did I get his name right this time? Todoroki?
Yes, Todoroki.
Okay.
Yes.
Todoroki is, I was a Bakugo fan. Todoroki is definitely becoming my favorite character, just for the fact of the character development he's had through the season. Seeing the relationship with him and his dad, learning that his dad was abusive, learning his mom was abused, learning, well, hinting at that Dabi might be his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the combination of his powers and him trying to learn how to balance the two while being what would be the true number one rated student, you know what I'm saying, at the school.
Right. For sure. Whatchamacallit? I was just pulling up whatchamacallit, his dad's name real quick, just for those who didn't know. So like at least with that, I do get where you're coming from. Like for me personally, I was always a Todoroki fan. Like just from like when they first initially like brought him about, he just like how I explained it before. He has kind of like the Sasuke kind of like backstory kind of thing. And that's what really, because I was also a big fan of Sasuke from Naruto. That got me on the same path. Todoroki's dad is Endeavor, by the way.
Okay.
Whatchamacallit? Their interaction, I do like throughout the series, just how not only their interactions with each other, but how they whatchamacallit, how the relationship changes as the course of the series goes about, because everyone knows there's currently a big issue between Todoroki and his father because of I would say just the backstory in general between the two. And if you pay close attention, their relationship does change as the story goes on, and I do like that. I don't know. I do. I also I like the character interactions too, to be honest. For like I was saying earlier with the different schools and everything like that, it was just nice to see how the different characters from different schools interacted not only with their own like classmates, but as well as with the UA students inside of season 3. I thought that was really cool too.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. Another thing that stood out to me was the only person that really seemed to me like they upgraded their gear at all was Bakugo and Deku. They was the only reason, the only two to me that seemed like they had any like legitimate upgrades in what they wanted to do. Everybody else stuff seemed to stay the same as far as upgrading their gear in order to better use their powers. Because Deku, which I saw this coming from a mile away, when his arms kept breaking, I'm like, why don't you use your feet?
True,
you know
true. Yeah.
So now he's using the all for one. What do you call all for one shoot style?
Yeah, shoot style, pulling it off of how Tenya Ida actually from his Recipro burst when he does that kind of like that speed kick or whatever that he does. That's where he pulled that off, and I figured that's how it was gonna be too. Like we were talking about it, and I don't know. What I really like is just how he utilizes his feet. His initial costume, it looked like a bunny rabbit, and I could just figure that it was gonna end up like that way too, to be honest. So, but I do have to argue with that one about like how it's really only those two. I personally think that Bakugo didn't really change his costume all that much from the initial setup. What I do see is like certain kind of like the other characters, like they're not as major roles, but like Kaminari, the electric guy, he wasn't very good at controlling like in terms of precision and accuracy of his quirk, but because of the upgrades that he does to his costume, he actually now has somewhat of an accurate shot / precision to his quirk now, instead of just kind of an aura blast.
You talking about when he did he threw the conductors out, the things
Yeah, the little discs and stuff. Yeah. So for him, I feel like that's a big step to kind of adding like extra. I would say adding more to his character to kind of flush him out from just being kind of like a little side character. Because I mean, out of the UA class, you know that we have the big ballers. We got Todoroki, we got Bakugo, we got Tenya. We have Kirishima. Bakugo's kind of like best friend that's not kind of confirmed between the two, kind of thing. Deku, of course. And then, everybody else is kind of just like to the side, and there's, Ochako. but she's not like Uraraka is kind of, she's there. She's supposed to be the best girl or whatever. But now they're kind of adding more to the other characters, kind of be like, hey, we didn't get that much popularity, right? But now, we're kind of trying to show them off. We're kind of, trying to put a little shine to them. Even whatchamacallit, just like with the when they had to invent their kind of like their ultimate moves and stuff like that, we got to see a lot of them kind of showcased during the events of season 3. And it was nice to see. Not only did we get to really see, like, of course we got to see Deku, we got to see Todoroki, and we got to see Bakugo really show off their stuff. But we got to see some of the other classmates, like Mineta, the Great Ball kid, whatchamacallit, Seto, the guy with the tape or whatever. We got to see him showcase some cool stuff too. So it was really nice to see just all the other students that were kind of just side characters. They got to actually shine a little bit. They kind of got to be a part of the main character aspect.
Yeah, that was definitely something that was really cool to see. The last fight, like we were just talking about, when they were fighting dude to turn everything to goo or whatever. He could mold flesh. He could change his flesh in anything he wanted, but other people's flesh he could only mold into like little balls.
Yeah.
Which is a disgusting quirk, by the way.
Yeah, that was.
But the fact that the 3 of them came together, and I like that little unit that they have, and those 3 different distinct powers: the hardening, the electricity, and then
right. It honestly, it made me feel like kind of like how an RPG role is. You have your different elemental types and everything like that. You have your different type of attackers and stuff. So I thought it was really nice to see, especially like how they switched out between battling him and everything like that too. It wasn't just kind of like they all went at him at the exact same time kind of thing. So
yeah, I definitely like that. So far, the biggest thing, season moving by so it hasn't been that many episodes. You know what I'm saying?
Really, yeah, no, for sure.
Maybe halfway, not even halfway through, maybe a third of the way through. But the fact, like we were talking about, how Class A, they all made it through this trial.
Oh my God,
every single one of them made it through the trial to go on to the next level. And you got all these other schools who had all these players drop out. I mean, it's thousands of kids there and only 100 move on, and your entire class makes it. It made no sense to me, especially when you have the other characters who have quirks who to me are just completely meaningless. They're just there for comic relief.
For sure. I 100% agree with that. For me, I personally, there was no way that a lot of them shouldn't have made it, to be honest. Even more so, like I was honestly hoping like one of the main students didn't make it either, because it would have been an interesting character development for their character. Like how I was talking about how like I was honestly expecting Ida not to be able to pass the test. I was expecting him to fail, not to be a hater or anything like that. I love his character, but it would have been interesting to see, because he has the biggest dedication to becoming a hero in the aspect of his brother. He wants to live up to his brother's name, but seeing him fail, even though he's kind of like the number 3, he fails by helping out all the other students pass. And just seeing the interaction and the development of his character, watching all of his other classmates proceed with this while he's got to take a step back and he's got to wait until he can actually become a hero, do what he's got to do. There was plenty of people I didn't expect. Honestly, I didn't really expect to pass the test. Like I was not expecting Mineta, the great boy. I was not expecting the nasal laser guy, Aoyama, I think his name is. I wasn't expecting the bird. His quirk is Anna voice, the real quiet kid, and he can talk to animals. I was not expecting all of them to be able to pass. I was expecting, whatchamacallit, Yaro Yuzuru to pass. I was expecting like Ochako, all of them to pass and everything like that. But
what about the invisible girl that is kind of corny? The fact that she has another ability where she can flash. She has no clothes on, and her ability is she can flash.
Low-key, I was not expecting that whatsoever. I thought she was just invisible girl. I was not expecting no flash. But that is kind of, in a sense, I feel like that's also kind of a comic relief kind of thing too.
That's nasty, guys.
I mean, it's funny, dude. Because I mean, come on now, she's naked, and one of her abilities is to flash. Come on now, that goes hand in hand, bro. That goes hand in hand. So I
Yeah.
thought that was funny, but at the same time, I was not expecting them to take that route with that character. I was honestly expecting her to like maybe take the gloves off, take the boots, and sneak around, do like an assassin type thing.
Something she never does.
Right. She is invisible, but she doesn't sneak. She always has something to be able to identify her because she wants to be known that she is right there. She needs to be seen in some way, shape, or form. And I was kind of just expecting like, yo, fam, like, why don't you play
Do you
your
think
role?
she might be afraid of her? Like she might be ashamed of her quirk. Like she doesn't like it because the thing is she's invisible all the time. It's not like she could turn her quirk on and off.
True. So honestly, I was even thinking there might be an actual reason for that. Because in rap, like there's been a lot of kind of like sub rumors and everything like that about how there's like a traitor among either the teachers or the students for the villain side, and a lot of people are arguing that she is the mole inside of UA.
Okay.
And I feel like it would make sense. There's a strong argument for that. Like maybe it's not because she can't turn it off. It's maybe because she's concealing her identity so nobody can see what she looks like, so she can actually play out this mole role. And maybe she does do that assassin type thing. She's sneaking around, and everything like that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's why I don't think it's the fact either. Maybe if, for instance, playing devil's advocate off of that, if say, for instance, she can't turn it off, maybe it's not the fact that she can't turn it off. Maybe she's subconsciously preventing herself from turning it off. There is a way, maybe like something in her backstory that like she used to be able to switch back and forth. But
Right.
her backstory, something tragic happened, and now she won't shut it out, or something maybe like she got a scar or something on her body, and she doesn't want it to be seen. So now she permanently has herself cloaked, something maybe along those lines. But I just
maybe she looks like a rat.
right, for all we know, there could be any number of reasons why. For all I feel like that's kind of just, in my opinion, corny that she can just not turn off her quirk. She cannot go uninvisible. Like, okay, if she can't go uninvisible, then, how did her parents find her? Like, let's say, for instance, like when she was younger, what if she went to like take a shower or something like that and, they just lost her? How does that go about? How does that play about? Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's a whole bunch of obvious and stupid reasons to explain that off, like, oh, she just put her clothes on like normal, and like she went into the shower, she was able to be seen, she got out, and bam, she's invisible and is floating clothes. Her parents freak out, blah blah blah. They found out she has the quirk of invisibility, stuff like that, like some simple crazy stuff like that. But I don't know, I feel like there's more to her character than she's just invisible girl.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely feel you on that. I could feel that they're probably setting something up to happen later down the line, and that she could actually probably be a very key character later on, because I noticed that they take the time. They seem like they're taking the time to build these characters up in this show one by one, to not let anybody actually not mean anything.
Right.
To come from that is something that I want to talk about as far as the level that this show is on. Now, it's been on for 3 seasons. For some people, they weren't into the first season. It picked up in the second season. This season just hit the ground running.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Do you feel like this is the next big thing? Like this is on the level of a Naruto or a DBZ as far as it is over here? Because I don't even feel like it's like that in Japan, as big as the other two anime are. Do you think that is going to reach that type of level?
For me personally, I think 100%. Maybe it doesn't have that much of a big impact in Japan, a big backing, but mind you, I mean, I feel like we have, in terms of the superhero aspect, we have a bigger backing for it here in the States, just because of the whole aspect, like comic book superhero, everybody's big fan of Marvel or DC or both or vice versa, whatever, blah, 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 And then plus on top of that, added as an anime too. We got a whole bunch of big anime fans out there. Even more so, just the aspect of just the characters and everything like that. There's a lot of relatable characters. There's different personalities for each character and stuff like that. So I honestly, for me, like when I went to ASIN, there was a ton of people cosplaying as My Hero characters. Ton of people. There's professional cosplayers who are cosplaying My Hero characters. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with My Hero right now. They got a movie coming out. They got a video game coming out. I'm not expecting My Hero to be going anywhere anytime soon. The manga hasn't even gotten close to ending. It's still ongoing. There's still new content coming out. The anime for sure hasn't even caught up with the manga. So I'm sure that this anime is going to be going a lot farther than what it is now. It's already popular. It's already one of the number one animes of the seasons for the past 3 seasons. Each time the new season comes out, it's always been one of the hot topics of each like anime season. So I don't see it going anywhere.
Okay, that's dope. Speaking of the video game, we got 2 huge anime games getting ready to drop. We got the what's the one? The just Jump Force.
Jump Force, yeah, Shonen Jump Force.
We got the Shonen Jump Force, which surprisingly has no My Hero characters in it right now. Could come later as DLC. But with that being one, with My Hero, is My Hero a Shonen Jump? My Hero's a Shonen Jump, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, well, My Hero being such a big Shonen Jump thing, but we understand why it's not coming this early because My Hero has its own game getting ready to drop.
Right. So
and I do believe we got the announcement video.
Yeah, I got an announcement trailer. Let me just pull that up. I gotta
pull that up. The game to me reminds me of the One Piece, the Naruto's, and everything like that. So it's right in the same vein as everything else would be. But the Jump Force seems overproduced, and this game to me actually seems like something that is visually what I want to play. So I'm looking forward to seeing this game come out. I think it's coming out on all 3 major systems.
PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. It has been announced for the Switch as well.
All 4 major platforms, which is a really big thing. Because Switch is, goes everywhere.
Yeah, but I was about to say.
I'm looking forward to it. But you ready to show them the trailer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right,
if you got me ready, I can play it.
Hey, go ahead and hit play, bro.
All right, sounds good. Come on. Here we go.
May contain content inappropriate for children, guys. And we don't have the volume of this. We're going to talk about what we're seeing right here.
Yeah. So it's showcasing each of the characters, of course, that's like the major ones and their quirks.
Okay.
So
1 for all, Smash plus Ultra.
It had the 5% for the full cowling. Shows a little bit of gameplay between Deku and Bakugo.
And the animation looks like straight out the anime.
Yeah, that's what I really like too. And a lot of it looks like it's also playing off like the seasons. It looks like it's gonna have like a crazy story mode, like kind of backtracking the anime too. So like just like some of like the art, like that season 2 straight off right at the bat right there. It looks like it's got even season 1 in here. So I feel like this is going to be kind of like for people, if they don't really want to like sit down and watch the show, which I highly recommend you actually do sit down and watch the show. You can actually just play the game and it'll catch you up, just kind of like how the Naruto games were able to do that for a lot of people.
Well, that's how a lot of people watch how Naruto ended, because they didn't want to wait on the anime to catch up to watch it. A lot of people watch the ending by actually playing through the game.
I'm not surprised. I didn't catch that the first time I watched this, but I thought that was really cool how the buildings are actually, it looks like they're breakable and you can actually stand on the buildings, give or take, depending on how you do it.
Yeah.
So
it'd be cool if only the people with the quirks that are allowed to, you know what I'm saying, to stand on the buildings, because that'd be a cool, hero versus villains.
Oh,
look, staying with the blood.
I was about to say
the thing I like about this is that it actually lets you see what their quirks are and how they operate. Because remember, we had some people like Tomorrow right there. We didn't know what Decay actually did.
Yeah, I mean, we had an idea, but it was so random with how he did it. And even better, it's on Unreal Engine 4, so it's gonna look beautiful.
Yeah, and the thing I like about this, which I'm not putting down Jump Force at all. I'm actually gonna play Jump Force. I'm looking very much forward for Jump Force to come out. It's just that Jump Force, the character models look chunky and clunky, overproduced to me. If they would have did it in the vein of something like this, I think I'd be looking more forward to seeing Jump Force. But
for sure.
with that, they got the movie, they got the manga, they got the anime, they got the game, which actually might be pretty good depending on how it plays. If it plays anything like Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, the last one, it should be okay. It should be an entertaining game to play.
Oh, for sure. I mean, from what that trailer was showing, it looks like it's going to be playing similar to the Naruto game. So I'm going to be really excited to see how this plays. I played some of the Naruto games. I dabbled in them. They were great. So hopefully, keep my fingers crossed. I don't want to make any promises. Hopefully, this is going to be just as good or even better than those games.
Okay, that's what it do. So, you personally, and when it all ends, when everything's said and done, do you think My Hero is the base style, anime on where we go forward, like Naruto and everything just kind of fades out and My Hero is where it's at?
I mean, you're always going to have those classics. Like, I mean, even to this day, you can still argue Trigun that came out back in 1985, something like that. You can still argue Trigun. You can argue the original Gundam series, all of the original Gundam series.
Ronin Warriors.
Ronin
Warriors would jump the classic Voltron. Those are the things that, got me
right.
in anime.
Oh, exactly. You can always, like, there is no way that that's going to be overshadowed or that's going to be taken out of the equation. Like, no matter who you're talking to, eventually at some point in time, newer anime viewers are going to go back and watch that old stuff because someone at one point is either going to force them to watch it or they're going to be in between seasons for the animes and they're not going to really have anything that they really want to watch. So they're going to be, I mean, if they're anything like me when it comes to watching anime, they're going to be hunting for a good anime. Like, I wasn't born in 1985. I was born in 96. I wasn't there for when Trigun came out. But I sure as hell went back and I watched Trigun. I sure as hell went and watched all the Trigun.
Yeah, you a young buck.
Yes, I am. I went back to watch Ronin Warriors. I went back to watch the original Gundam. I went back to watch the original Gundam. I'm not talking about 00 Gundam. I'm not talking about Gundam Seed, not Gundam Seed Destiny, not all the other Gundams. I'm talking about the original Gundam. So, they're gonna be hunting. So I can't say that Naruto is gonna fade out, but I'm gonna say that it's gonna take a back seat. Just like, I mean, this is gonna be a cliche right here, but just like how All Might had to take down from his responsibility, the mantle of responsibility, and Deku has to rise. Naruto, Bleach, and all those current like hardcore animes, they're gonna have to give up the mantle of responsibility and give it to some of these newer animes, such as My Hero, Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, etc., etc.
Okay. Now, speaking about people having a hunt for animes, segue and everything like that. You had an anime that you just started watching that you wanted to let the people know about?
Yes, I did, and it's kind of perfect that we pulled it. We explained it in that way of hunting down animes because this anime focuses on another form of hunting. So currently, just today, I mean, I'm kind of behind because I was gonna start it right when it first came out, but there is an anime that I'm currently watching. It's called Tenro Sirius the Jaeger. So just to kind of throw a little bit of information, I'm not going to give too much information about it, just that it's real dope. I highly recommend to check it out. The art is made by PA Works. They're a very good company in terms of art for the anime industry. I'm going to pull up kind of like a little poster picture for it. Let me see here.
While you pull up that poster, I'll talk to them right quick. Guys, make sure you check out the Etsy store, etsy.com /shop/NerdMIx, where you can get cool nerd armor like this. All our stuff is custom made, designed, hats and everything you need. We got the nerd armor gear. Come support the podcast. Check us out.
Okay. So this is one of the posters for Sirius the Jaeger. So just to explain what it's about, to let you know, it's set in 1930. So this is prior to all the technological advances and everything like that. This is just right in the thick of it. How this starts off, there's basically it is a vampire anime. And the aspect of this, the vampires are trying to take over the world in essence, of course. And there is a company or a secret military or a secret organization that is literally hunting down vampires. And the twist about it is the main character is actually a werewolf, and his whole entire village, all of his friends, families, and everything about his race was wiped out by the vampires. So he has a blood vendetta against them. So he gets picked up by this organization, and he's kind of like Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. He wants to exterminate them all from the face of the earth in revenge for his race. So the whole anime, it's a real awesome. I've only watched the first three episodes. Currently, I believe there's 5 episodes out right now. I'm gonna binge watch the last 2 after this, to be honest. Real awesome action. It has slight gore to it, so if you're into the gore aspect of anime, you know, you're gonna get a little bit of that, little bit of, you know, it there and here and everything like that. Awesome action. It's got mystery. It's got drama. It's got comic relief in some aspects of it. Overall, so far, I have not been disappointed yet.
Okay, that's definitely what to do. And what was the name of that again?
It's called Tenrou, Tenrou, Sirius, Sirius, I know you guys know how to spell the, Jaeger, Jaeger.
Okay, that's really dope. One of the things I noticed in the art style was going on, and this is just me. This art style kind of reminds me of that last Airbender, the one that the last one came out with
The Legend of Korra.
The Legend of Korra. The art style kind of, just from the picture you put up, reminds me of the Legend of Korra, which is dope because I really dug that art style. Yeah. But it also makes me feel a little. It's got like a. Would you say vampire as well? It does have a kind of Castlevania feel as far as the wardrobe and stuff goes to it.
Yeah, so, for sure.
So that's definitely something that when Forsaken recommends something. Well, I'm gonna put it right here. Forsaken recommendation. I even put the title down in the description, so y'all know the title of the recommendation he made. Definitely, you go check that out. When he recommends an anime, you watch it. When I recommend an anime, you can wait till later. But that's how that goes. But the way I feel about it is that My Hero's on the come up. I want to see where it's at after this season. I want to see how they end this season before I try to place it in the mantle of the big 3.
For sure.
For right now, for me, it may not be popularity, but Attack on Titan is just a better written anime to My Hero, and we'll talk more about that on the next episode.
For sure. I'm down with that.
Yeah. So, guys, you know how it is. This is Anime Assembled. That's my man Forsaken Powers. You got anything else you want to say, bro?
Nah, just have a good one. Keep binging that anime like always, guys.
Like
Stay tuned.
Definitely. Like I always say, Syfyters, A+, Nerd Mixers, keep it up. This has been a Nerd Mix. Keep it A+. We got catchphrases for galore. Check out everything that's going to be down here. There'll be links in the descriptions. Like I said, NerdMIx Shop. Check out A+ Opinions. Check out Syfytology. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, share this to your friends. We'll have giveaways soon. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves free stuff.
True. And I know I got some stuff that I'm looking to raffle off because I got a couple little extra anime goodies that I've gotten dupes of. So I'm looking. I think we could do something with them. We could do stuff with them.
Most definitely, guys. So remember, tell your friends, subscribe to the channel. This has been Anime Assembled. This is Indy Uchiha out.